It's me again. As you can see, it's gotten a bit chilly, so I have on a jacket. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's really kind of neat the way the buttons are. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, this is got, and this is another one of my favorite things that's getting too big. That is really getting old. I mean, because it's getting to the point where I don't have anything to wear, but that's okay. I'd rather be going that way than the other way. You can always wear something too big. But I feel like I'm running around in somebody else's clothes because everything's so big. So that's why I'm trying to wear everything. Um, I got some couple of emails about how I get my ideas and stuff like that. Well, what I do actually is I do brain just like I exercise my body. I also exercise. I try to exercise my brain because you got you got if you don't use it, we get what I think what happens is we're constantly like in a trance, walking around in a trance, and we do the exact same thing, and we no longer have to think about anything. That's why I don't save any of my passwords. I want to think about them every single time I put a password in. And I also, one of my brain exercises is like, the knickknacks and the things in my home. I mean, not my keys and my eyeglasses. I don't play that game with those kind of things. But the knickknacks and the different things that are around my house, pictures and stuff. Every time I dust, I move them around. Every time I clean, I move them around. Um, when my when I'm in my bathroom slash dressing room, whatever you want to call it, I move the toothbrush from this side to that side, or the soap from this side, or the makeup from this side to that side, just so I'll have to think about what's going on. Like I said, I can't play that game with my eyeglasses and my keys, 'cause there will be drama if I ever do that. Oh, and before I forget, I want to shout out to my son, to the Trians. I want to shout out to my peeps over in Japan. I want to shout, my daughter-in-law's birthday is coming up. I got to mail her card. Uh, I want to shout out the to Matsui, to the Magic Go Magic. Before I forget, and of course, as usual, hi to my grandkids. Um, I was gonna talk. Oh, I was telling about the brain exercises. Also, I read a lot. Also, I do word search. I cannot do crosswords. I don't know. I don't know. And I do word search. It's really good for your brain. It's good exercises. Also, even so much as playing solitaire on the computer, playing spider solitaire, stuff like that on the computer. It actually helps. It helps, to blood to flow through your brain, and that keeps those calcium deposits, because now they think that's what Alzheimer's is actually calcium deposits on the brain, which has been my theory all along. I knew it had to be some kind of physical. I thought my hypothesis was that it came from dehydration. And apparently, I wasn't too far off. Because at the time, right now, my mom is actually struggling with that. But in a way, I'm really glad she's where she is, because, I know she wanted to stay in her own home, but it's just too dangerous. For someone 81 years old, she could fall or something, and in her, and plus at home, my family is really busy. They all work, they have careers, and stuff. And in assisted living or somewhere like that, they make her take her medicine. They'll make her exercise. They'll make her exercise her brain. They'll make her do the things, and that she needs to do to keep herself stimulated. And I think it's going to add a really some years to her life. And I also think her quality of life will be better. And see, and that's what I'm worried about in the end. I want my quality of life to be good. I don't want Michael to have to take care of a sick person, or or an infirm person. I think physically I'll be all right as long as I exercise and try to eat halfway decent and do the stuff that I'm doing, and exercise and stretching every morning. I um I think I'll be in pretty good shape physically. I just worry about, because writers are crazy. So that's the stuff I do to exercise my brain. Yes, I did have long hair one time. I'm gonna, well, when I cut my hair was I'm just going through some email questions. When I cut my hair, it was before I went to grad school. I mean, it was crazy looking stuff all out here, and it was out of control. And I just did not have a half an hour in the morning to fool with it. So I had my hair really this short, like a couple of times before, when I over permed it or dyed it or frosted it and messed it up. And then I cut it all off, and then I just would grow it back. But now it's a lot of graying, and I really kind of like that. So that's why it's growing. If it grows nice and even and grows back nice, then I might let it grow a little bit this time, but I don't know. But there's always wigs when you want a different, look and stuff like that. So, um, also I learned how to put on makeup and stuff in theater class. So I learned how to do that thing, and I don't have the names of the makeups and stuff that I use. I try to pick things that are um, not tested on animals, that have natural ingredients and stuff like this. Like this is my hand cream. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's made with honey and grape seed, and I try to eat that. I try to use that stuff in my hands, and I try to eat, stuff. So that was something else I was saying about going grocery shopping is so hard for me because I'm on a budget right now, and um, I can't just eat anything. I can't get 20 packs of a ramen noodle. I can't eat that stuff anymore because I'm a diabetic. And trust me, I have been on the ramen noodle and Kool-Aid diet. I have been, when I was in school. It's kind of tight there once in a while, but you know, you do what you got to do at the time. And I am really warm right now. This is probably a YouTube first. Uh, hot flash on YouTube. This is probably a first. And see, that's when I know when I'm getting tired. I don't know why they come at night. I mean, I was fine during the day. It's just something like, I guess they just come at night. I don't know if it's like something I just imagined or so. So I guess that's the first hot flash on YouTube. I'm sure it's not the first, but I'm sure it's not the first. I don't know. I'm getting kind of almost to the end of it. It should be. It's been about 10 years, and they say it runs about 10 years. I don't know. It's but exercising and trying to eat, right and stuff like that helps it a lot. So I just once in a while I have those real hot, and then once in a while I wake up and way too much information. But oh, what I like to watch on YouTube, I like well, I don't like, but I watch To Catch a Predator. My favorite part. My favorite part is when Chris Hansen walks out there and the look on that guy's face is just I'm hysterical. I'm hysterical. But it's scary in a way because you think about suppose that was a real kid, and that's one of the first things I told my son when we first got our first computer in the late 90s. I told him don't meet anybody anywhere. Don't give anybody your address. Don't tell anybody your real name. Don't tell anybody what school you went to, and stuff like that. And I imagine, even though I do imagine there may be some kids that sneak out and meet people, especially heaven knows if it's any sex involved, you can get a little boy to do anything, but I give kids a little more credit. I really don't think I don't know. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. Because when I'm watching To Catch a Predator, sometimes I'm always sitting there thinking, what's wrong with these guys? I mean, besides what they're doing is disgusting. But okay, all right, if it's a 12-year-old girl, and she's a 12-year-old girl who wants to have sex, now, wouldn't you think that she would have all of those little junior high school boys with their notebooks in front of their crouches? Yes, fellas, we saw that, and it was disgusting. Okay, it was disgusting, and that's why we didn't want to be around you. And don't you think she could stand in the middle of homeroom and go, I want to lose my virginity? Why would she need a big gut, ugly, beer belly, like 50-some-year-old man to take her virginity? That's ridiculous. I mean, and then they wonder why, oh, we never catch any women. there's a reason they don't catch any women, because a woman is not stupid enough to go to someone. I'm not, let me take that back. But a woman, I started to say a woman would be stupid enough to go to somebody's house that they never met, but they do it online all the time. And that really frightens me. That really, really frightens me. Um, but they said that women aren't involved in that kind of, that there are women predators, mind you, but they're not involved in the computer thing. And why would you go, all right, why would you go to a 12-year-old child's house to have sex with them because they said that their parent was out of town? My grandmother used to have a saying: every goodbye ain't gone, and every closed eye ain't sleep. So wouldn't you, if you were going, okay, first of all, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go to see a child for sex, number one. But number two, if you thought about doing it, wouldn't you go, okay, what if this kid's parents comes back home, come back home? What if, neighbors see me going in there? What if, I mean, and that's why women don't do it, because we stop and think about, what the consequences could be. I look at that. I look at a couple of more things, but I'm not going to mention them because I don't want to um, exploit anybody's name or anything. But it's some pretty funny stuff I look at. I made one video about someone I was trying to get in contact with to warn them about something that was happening. I'm not going to get up caught all up in the drama, team this, team that. I do look at I like YouTube stuff with real people, and a lot of times we, the cablelists of the world, enjoy looking at TV shows and stuff like that. But I really like better the commentary from real people and the stuff real people do, and people like me that are just on here saying hi to their grandkids and talk about their books. Because I always said that when I finished the book, I was going to get on YouTube and and talk about it. My son couldn't get me on Skype to save my life, but here I am on YouTube. But like I said, um, that vitamin B12 has really done a lot for my brain. Like I figured out that movie thing. I could have never done that. And there's a lot of other personal things that I see clearer now. See clearer now that I can think a little clearer. And I think that's one of the things I'm gonna stay on. It's always hard when you start a regime of supplements, because then you have to stay on them. Like you just can't stop taking chromium all of a sudden, or you'll eat 12 donuts in a row. And I use chromium to cut my appetite for the desire for sweets. The B12 actually makes me eat less, but like I said, don't go by anything I say. I asked your doctor, because I know I'm eating less, because I can tell by my grocery bill. That's where you can tell. That's when you can tell. And I'm spending a whole lot less money on food. I've noticed. I've really noticed. So that's a good thing. Oh yeah, I talked about To Catch a Predator. It was something else I can't remember. I have down here Good Old Days. I don't know what that. Oh, I know what it was. I was looking at TV or doing something, and I think I was looking at I Love Lucy disc or something like that. And when I was a girl, young, up till about, I'll say 16, 17, the television, well, we had three channels to begin with: ABC, CBS, and NBC. That was it. Fox came along later on. But there wasn't any cable, anything like that when I was really a young kid. I think the first time I saw cable was like in the 80s, and that was only to watch MTV, because that's when MTV actually had videos. I mean, my sister and I would sit up and party all night long and watch, uh, video after video after video. Now I just think, I know I haven't seen it in 20 some years, but from what I'm told, it's weird TV shows and a lot of crazy stuff like that. And I don't like uh, reality shows. I just don't like those. I just it I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm broke as can be, and there are some things I would do on, screen for some money, but your dignity. What are your what am I'm going to say to my grandkids if I do some stupid, really stupid mess on TV? Okay, even for money. All you have is your self-esteem. All you have is your self-respect. Um, oh, and what I was saying about the radio went off at midnight. That's why I like country music and like that, what they call that soft contemporary music kind of music, because the rock radio station went off at WRPM, World Largest Peanut Market, WLPM. That was the first radio station I ever listened to in Suffolk, Virginia. World's Largest Peanut. That was the acronym, what it stood for. And they went off at midnight. And the only thing that was on wasn't really in the FM. That was AM. Wasn't in the FM except with that weird elevator music and country music. So that's why I like all different kinds of music. That's the reason why I like country music, and I like, you know, spirituals. Like I said, I do have some rappers that I know, some of my kids, I call them. I have one son, but I have a lot of kids, that I kind of look out for and mom for and bake for, and try to take care of, because they can't take the whole village to raise a kid. That's why I like all those different kinds of music. That's why I've been in as far as music appreciation, that kind of thing. I've always taken some kind of music. There was always some kind of music going on in our house. There was always somebody dancing. There was always somebody singing. There was always a radio on, record player on, that kind of thing. And we learned that the kind of music you listened to was important to the person are. And so you do, it's hard to tell a person. I don't understand parents that say they don't want their kids to listen to a certain kind of music. Yes, I did. Now, when that rap music and stuff first started coming out, I had issues with that, because number one, my son started listening to it. It was the bad language, and it was the insults to women and stuff like that. And I remember once my son we had gone to Fred Meyer's, this department store out here where we live. This is in Washington State, and he had gone to buy a disc, and he came over to me. I was in line buying the groceries and stuff, and he goes, "Well, Mom, they won't let me buy it." And I said, "Why not?" And I looked down at it, and I saw because there's no need to tell a kid don't listen to something, because they're going to go to their friends and they're going to do it anyway. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Period. You think your kid is sitting at his friend's house going, "Oh, well, I can't listen to that because my mother told me not." Yes, they are. They're going to do it. They're going to do it when you're at work. So it's no need to tell them. But what I did explain, so the next morning I was getting ready for work, and he was in his room, getting ready to get dressed to go to school, and I heard the worst thing I'd ever heard in my life. I'm not going to repeat it here. And I called my son. I went, "What the devil is that?" And he goes, I said, "No." I said, "Where'd you get that?" And he said, "You bought it." And I said, "No, I didn't." And he goes, "Yes, you did. Remember last night when you look?" Because what had happened was, I had the lady wouldn't let him buy it. He came over and told me the lady wouldn't let him buy it because he had an advisory on it. I went over and paid for it for him, and then the next morning he was playing. I'm like, "What the devil is that? Where'd you get that? That's terrible." And he said, "You bought it." I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "Well, that's what you bought last night." And the mistake I had made, I had seen this particular group. I don't want to call their name. No, I'm not going to say. And I'd seen them on MTV or video something or something, but I didn't know there were two versions. So the version I had seen was not that bad. This was the uncensored version, I guess. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then that's just when I sat down and talked to him, and I said, "Look, this is this person's expression of art. Um, this is the way they're expressing themselves. This is not the attitude I want you to have about women. This is not a healthy attitude about women." And basically, this is a performer, and I'm sure he doesn't, I mean, some of those rappers or something might really be, which I not might be, are gangsters and that kind of thing in real life. But I just kind of explained to him, just like, it's just a performance. So I think that's it. I'm at 1957. I don't want to go over. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.